Howdy, howdy, stoners. Welcome to another edition of Sticks-n-Stonez. Happy to be with you here today. I got to find myself on the X. I can't say the Twitter anymore. I have a great show lined up for you today. I think you're really going to love it. Just give me a moment here to find myself so that I know I'm actually broadcasting. I would greatly appreciate it. It is, okay, there I am right there. All right. Hey, I think this worked faster. It's 39:40 seconds. I think that worked faster than any time ever before. But I have a great show lined up for you today. I think you're really going to love it. Pairing like a bold cigar with an equally expressive spirit can be a richly rewarding experience. And today, the Rocky Patel sun-grown Maduro, with its full body and intense flavors that are dark and complex, and they demand a partner that is equal to the task without getting lost in the smoke, so to speak. I believe I have that spirit right here. Actually, it's out of Texas. That is Garrison Brothers Small Batch. Garrison Brothers, they are, like I said, they're a Texas distillery, and they distill their spirits here under the Texas sky, the hot sun. They deliver exactly what you're looking for in a powerful, sweet, oak-forward bourbon with enough depth and intensity to match the Maduro's character. Together, they are going to create, I'm sure, a robust and deeply satisfying pairing experience. Garrison Brothers Small Batch is located here in High, Texas. That's down south of here a ways. I have to say a ways because I'll get into a story in a minute about the geography. But anyway, it's down south a ways. The Mashbill is predominantly corn with red winter wheat. And that's pretty much all we know. It is aged for a minimum of 4 years in new American oak barrels, and they are aged here in this intense Texas climate. Let me tell you, it's only like 95 here today, but it's only like 95 here today. Sometime this next week, it's going to be like 104, 105 every day for the next week or 10 days. Now, this spirit is 47% alcohol by volume, 94 proof. Let's go ahead and glass some up. Look at that in the glass. Is that not just beautiful? That is a beautiful, beautiful spirit. It's got a real deep copper color. My guess is it is partially due to the red winter wheat. On the nose, you get this really smooth, like buttery caramel note up front with some hints of honey and vanilla bean kind of underneath it. And then you get this nice little wave of like baking spice that rises out of the glass, along with a little bit of oak char and maybe just a touch of like dark fruits like plums or something along those lines. I'm burning it up today. We're already 4 minutes in. We're only 4 minutes in, and I'm already ready to taste. So, here we go. That has got a really, say really too much. That has got an excellent kind of oily mouthfeel to it. It delivers some notes of, I think it hit Pat's too far down. It was too far up a minute ago. It's got to be just right. You're going to wear a Stetson, you got to wear it right. Try one more sip here. I forgot where I was at. You had the really nice oily mouthfeel with some notes of toffee and dark cherries, maybe a little hint of like burnt or caramelized sugar. There's a little bit of cinnamon. Followed by some waves of leather, and then there's some nice toasted oak, and all that has just a little layer of like black pepper underneath it. A little bit of burn on your tongue, not a lot. It's just right. This is an excellent spirit as far as I'm concerned. As you can tell, I've had it a few times, and that's this bottle. Now the finish is fairly long. Still tasting it. It's warming, kind of a wood-driven finish with some like lingering notes of sweet spice and maybe a little bit more of that burnt sugar or caramelized sugar right at the end of it. And as I mentioned, it's got a very nice, oily, kind of viscous, creamy mouthfeel. And I think a lot of that is due to this hot Texas climate. So, you know, hey, we love it. We love it down here in Texas. If you don't like the weather, just stick around a little while. It'll change. I actually went out to see my son graduate from college a few years back. He went to West Texas A&M. It's part of the A&M system. Gig 'em. And he graduated in the winter graduation time. And so we all packed up here and drove out there. It's out in Amarillo. And that's like a 6-hour drive, 7-hour drive, something like that. We left here, and it was sunny and 70 degrees. We got there, and it was 28 and snowing, and got down around 0 that night. Yeah, like I said, I mean we can have all 4 seasons of the year in Texas in one day. Which part of Texas you want to be in? So, all right, the Rocky Patel sun-grown Maduro. They do actually have a sun-grown that is just a solid red band, and where this one is box pressed, that one is just a regular round cigar. Another great cigar too, but I thought that this sun-grown would be a really good match here today. This is it's got a Nicaraguan filler and binder, wrapped in a beautiful Connecticut broadleaf wrapper. On the nose, let me tell you what it looks like first before I stick my nose all on it. As you can tell, it's a really nice, like Snicker bar brown. Beautiful, beautiful looking stick on the outside. There are, I mean, almost no veining. I don't know how well you can see that, but I mean, just look, I mean, there's almost none. Sides, the back, the other side. There's almost no veining on this thing. There's some little hints of vein here and there. It is has tight and moderately visible seams, not really visible, but I can hear, here down here I can kind of tell it's there. So anyway, I'm rambling a little bit, and maybe some hints of tooth. It has a look and a feel of something like the old paper sacks from the grocery store sacks. So, and a wonderful looking triple cap. Yeah. All right, on the nose. You get a really nice kind of fresh earthiness. There's some hints of leather and maybe a little bit of cedar. There's maybe some touches of like chocolate or sweetness in there. And there's just a hint of fruit, but it's very faint. Maybe something along the lines of like cherries or something to that effect. All right, let's give it a cut. I'm just using my Cigar V cutter today. That was the first one I grabbed when I came out here. Whoops! I bet that made a lot of really nice noise on the microphone. On the cold draw, I get kind of first and foremost something along the lines of, like the dried fruit, like dried raisins or maybe dried apricots, something along those, maybe even some dried cherry. It's not a real bold flavor. It just kind of hangs there. Raisins are fairly mild, and even apricots, dried dates. So, trying to come up with all my dried fruits. I also get maybe a little hint of chocolate, and there's not any real spice on the cold draw at all. All right, let's fire it up. Trying to get this train moving. I think that did it. I get some immediate notes of like black pepper, espresso, maybe some dark chocolate. It's got kind of a bold, spicy introduction with then kind of an earthy undertone. It is a nice full flavor cigar, but it's not overpowering. I think it goes very well, or I think it will hold up very well. How am I trying to say this? Well, hell. It is okay for the newbie, the rookie, to maybe try a shot at this one. Aficionados, you'll love it. I know you will if you hadn't tried it already. There's a very interesting note in the retrohale coming out my nose. It's a really kind of fruity, tarty, like tart apples, green apples or something like that, along with a little bit of black pepper. It's a wonderful, wonderful cigar. I've never had the sun-grown Maduro. I've had the sun-grown. Yeah, those do go very well together. The kind of viscousy, oily mouthfeel of the spirit really takes a hold of the palate flavors from the cigar and just kind of blends them around and really gives your mouth a lot of enjoyment out of the puff and the sip together. I don't want to sound too weird when I say that. Any of you watching for the first time, that's something I do every time. It doesn't really mean anything. To me, I can kind of, in my own way, maybe kind of judge the smoke because it's not just wafting all up through the air. And also how long it hangs in the glass. Some smoke hangs longer than others. But for me, the biggest thing is I'm releasing that smoke in the glass as I'm tilting the glass back. So the palate flavors from the cigar are just touching my mouth as I'm letting the smoke out and taking the sip in, and they kind of all come together at one time. There may be some, more professional folks than me that be like, but that's just the way I like to do it. I think it's cool. And I think it does help me a little bit. You may not be able to hear the music in the background. I got Naturescapes on. It's like elevator music, and there's a meadow full of flowers. So, neighbors. Now, the notes off of the cigar, the espresso and kind of the dark chocolate, and that black pepper, are really blend very well. I'm trying to stop with the really. It mixes extremely well with the toffee and the dark cherry and kind of that burnt sugar aspect. And also the pepper that's on the spirit. So then you have the pepper and the chocolate and the espresso. And it all just kind of comes together in this really nice symphony of flavors in your mouth. That's what she said. Burn. The burn is pretty wavy. You can see there's a big notch right there. There's a big notch right there. I'm going to give it just a little bit, but I have a feeling I'll probably have to touch it up. I'm almost sure with this much wave around it that it's not me. Generally, if it's just one side, like one side is burning faster than the other, I can pretty well think that I didn't get that side lit as well. But when it's kind of all around like this, it could be the burn of the leaf. I got in some Bolivar cigars. I can't remember what it's called now. It starts with a C. The model of the cigar. I'm very excited to try those because I see Bolivar show up a lot in my feed, and I'd never tried them. I was hitting one of the auction sites and managed to get a 5-pack of them at a really great price. So I hit that. I got these as well, same time. I've got a nice volume of smoke. It's not a smoke monster, but at the same time, you're not really struggling to draw on it. It's got a fairly easy draw. Still, I mean, and actually, right there, where that's burning in that little notch, that's a seam line. See it? I can see it on the camera, so I know you can see it. Yeah, it's right where that seam is. So it's probably the burn, not me. It may be a first. I got the ceiling fan on high. That's why the smoke's just going everywhere and dissipating real quick, because it's hot. After this, I'm putting the trunks on, and me and the puppies are getting in the pool, and Mama and the young children will be back by then, and they'll join us. The cloud up there looks like a goat running. That's what I saw. All right. Yeah, I'm going to touch that up. Because, I mean, you can look right here. You've got this spot up here that isn't burned and is burned down here. That's, yeah, it's burning a little funny. All right, we'll see how that does. But I was saying I'll get back to the Texas here in a minute with the, how long it takes to get anywhere. There was somebody posted something earlier this week on X, And they were like something about Texas, and that you could drive 8 hours around France and still not be all the way around or something like that. And I was like, dude, you can drive from Texarkana to El Paso. It takes you 12 hours, and you're still in Texas. And that's a state. It's not a country. And it's about the same amount from Amarillo down to Brownsville. And then somebody got smart and superimposed Texas over the top of France. And yeah, it was larger. So, yeah, we do pretty much everything bigger in Texas. That's what she said. Oh, can't show you the back. I mean, I could, but I have to stand up. I've got my Isaiah 6:8 shirt on today with the soldier on the back with desert fatigues and his M4. And the Lord said, "Who shall I send and who shall go for us?" And I said, "Here am I, Lord, send me." That's not a direct quote, but that's close. This has been my bestseller on Amazon. And I just dropped a new one that I came up with this week. It's out there too. It is another, it's got another Bible quote on it and some soldiers, one carrying the other. I've been smoking and drinking since then. I can't remember exactly how it went, but it is, there's no greater, how does it say that? Dog it. Anyway, it's talking about laying down your life for your friends. And that's, kind of the soldier's thing. We would give our own lives to save our buddies. That's the way it is. That's on Amazon too. Sticks-n-Stonez store. And I did forget to post right before I came on that, hey, I'm coming on, because I'll do that on, I'll send that out to X and Instagram and Instagram threads, because I can't live stream on Instagram and Instagram on these, and live stream on these others too. Instagram is different. You can't do it. You can do Instagram. It's got some kind of these special keys and all this kind of stuff, and I'm like, all I have to do for this is just hit go live. I don't have to mess around with all that other stuff. And if I get to a point where I can, support it, I'll bump this up and be able to add more platforms. So, if you want to watch me somewhere else. But I am live on YouTube, if that's where you are. If that's not where you are. And I'm live on X, if that's not where you are. So if you're not on there, you're on the other one. But you can always go to the YouTube channel, and you can watch the old ones if you miss one or you want to see one again because a specific cigar or specific spirit that you want to hear about. Go and do it. Highly recommend it. If you go back to some of the first ones, you'll find out that while I still may not be very good, I was a whole lot worse when I started. I think I took my very first intro video. I think I took it down. It was so bad. I'm out there. I got my cowboy hat on, but I got like a tank top on. And of course, I weighed a whole lot more then than I do now. I was like 280. Now I'm like 220. And I'm reading. And I'm just reading what I had. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the story and all this, or a little bit about the show, what it's going to be like and all that. It is a bunch of crazy shit. But I've gotten better. Maybe not a lot, but I have. That spirit has just got a really nice kind of, I almost want to say like an unknown palate flavor to it. It's something that you can't put your finger on. But it's just got, it's a really nice note, but it's like you've got all these other things going on, and then there's that one thing, and your mind is just running through all the different things it could be. And I'm like, I can't quite put my finger on it. And that's what she told me. I Can't quite put my finger on it. Yeah, that's me. I do try to stay mostly politically correct, even though generally I'm not politically correct. I'm just correct. So I went to the Ralphie May School of being correct. If you don't know who that is, Google him, search him on YouTube. He's gone. God rest his soul. But probably one of the funniest comedians I ever saw. You know, for me, he's like right up there with like George Carlin. You know, George had his finger was on the pulse, and he didn't care what he said. Of course, that was back in the day when you could say stuff and get away with it. Folks are a lot more sensitive nowadays. As you can see just then, a really nice volume of smoke continues. I think I had it upside down. And I probably have a little bit of the autism. I'm probably a little bit on the spectrum. I'm very, like I want my cut. All right, my cut has to be so that the label faces up. I can't have it like off to the side or anything like that. It has to be just right. I want to smoke it with the label straight up. Just quirky little things like that. Yeah, part of it is PTSD, but my shirt is bothering me now. It says things like this. This is what sends me off. Is I'm like, any other time, I would be able. I'm still having to touch this up because it's still kind of burning wonky, and it's still right along that seam. It burns funny, strange, Rocky. If you're listening, I'm gonna try another one, but that's weird. Not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's just weird. Anyway, this does have a really quick burn. I mean, we're 27 minutes in, and I'm right at the halfway mark already. And as we're kind of getting into the half, I think the flavors are kind of deepening a little bit. It could be kind of the blending with the spirit, but I'm getting some like hints of molasses and leather and some charred oak. The pepper has kind of receded into the background a little bit. And it's kind of allowed the natural sweetness in that broadleaf wrapper to kind of start shining through. And still, I know, I'm jonesing. I'm tweaking way too much on the way this thing is burning. I know I listen to those guys. I've said this before. Those guys will be like, "Oh, the burn was razor straight." Like, I don't think I've ever had a cigar that's had a burn that was razor straight. Still going so well together. The kind of the charred oak that you're getting as we've gotten close to the half here on the cigar blends really well with the charred oak that's in the spirit. And then you have the molasses sweetness really blending well with the kind of the burnt sweetness, the caramelized sugar on the spirit. I think it's really a good pairing. The Jefferson Woodford Reserve double oaked and Serie V Melanio I did last week is not that, but it's good. I think that one It's probably maybe my best ever. Oh, I said the G word, and then something popped up on my screen wanting to search, and I'm like, no, I don't want to search. That's a really good. I mean, that's a really good cigar from Rocky. My favorite is the Rocky Patel 60. That's a good one. Oh, and this was a Robusto 5x50 on the ring gauge. I don't think I mentioned that in the beginning. Need a little sip of something that's hot. Yeah. Yeah, as soon as this is over, I'm hitting the pool. And maybe smoking another cigar. So, where are we at? 31 minutes. I think we're doing good. I think we can probably wrap this up here in just a second. I won't make you stay through the whole thing. We're getting close anyway. You have a really good idea of what's going on. I guarantee. Please let me know what you're thinking. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you are the best thing since sliced bread, which if sliced bread is the greatest thing, I mean, we're about to send people to Mars. If your expectations for me is sliced bread, I don't know that that's a compliment. I apparently like the spirit. Kind of weird. It's kind of weird. That's all I can say. Some things happening on the burn that really have me in a quandary, and our dip is back. I really miss my Cigarism single torch. My buddy from Cigarism needs to hook me up with another one of those. And actually, if you go out to look at the Sticks-n-Stonez store on Amazon, you'll find I have an idea list of cigar and pipe accessories. And a few of the things on there are Cigarism stuff. The single torch lighter, cutters. They've got some really nice, like leather-bound travel cases that are cedar lined. I've got one that I take down to the Southern Command and on the Gulf Coast every year. Well, every year except this year. This year I'm not getting to go. Yeah, we got a puppy instead. You didn't go on vacation? No, we got a puppy. Really nice smoke output. I'm not going to do any more of the Garrisons. I'm going to be drinking some beer in the pool. Don't want to overdo it. You know, drink responsibly. That's my PSA for the day. And it's hot. I tapped the ash off early because I didn't want it to fall in my lap. You just got to tap that ash, you know. Hey, it fell off too. Fortunately, it fell off on at least part of the ashtray. Yeah, this is to be a full flavored cigar. This is not an overly strong cigar. It's going to be approachable enough as somebody that's new to cigars. They could be able to tackle this one. I always tell people, if you're just getting into cigars, start with your training wheels on. Start with something along the lines of a Olive Series O or Series G with the light, the really light Connecticut wrapper on it. The lighter wrappers are typically more creamy, less spicy, not as strong. They're mild, maybe medium. But then when you start getting into the darker wrappers, that's where you get up into the medium to full flavored cigars, and they tend to be a little more intense. And so I always tell people, start with your training wheels on and then work your way up. This is a good one that you could work up into fairly quickly. But yeah, don't overdo it. You only have to get sick on a cigar like once. You're like, I don't want to do that anymore. You don't necessarily like throw up or anything, but you sure don't feel good. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up right here. Overall, I think this is a cigar that experienced smokers will really enjoy, and it's got that full flavor complexity to it. It's bold without being aggressive, like I was just talking about. It offers a really nice depth through its transitions and a nice balance between spice and earthiness and sweetness. And it is a really good match for the Garrison small batch. Both of them offer this really nice boldness without being way aggressive. The Garrison's is bold at 94 proof, so that's not bad at all. You shoot up on over 100, and yeah, things start getting. You have a little 3-ounce pour in your Glencairn, and you're like, I think it really mirrors the cigar's kind of earthiness with a nice smoky depth to it. It does keep pace with the cigar's intensity. It's got that nice long warm finish, and it really complements the cigar's peppery notes. And I think the bourbon's toasted oak and vanilla really enhance the cigar's chocolate and molasses. The heat and the structure from a bourbon at this proof, it can hold its own to the Maduro's more bolder nature. And both kind of evolve over time with some nice layers of sweetness and oak and leather. It makes for a really, really satisfying, a very satisfying and cohesive pairing. Overall, I think this is one of the top tier companions for the Rocky Patel Sun-Grown Maduro. There may be a lot of the more bourbon purists out there is like, well, it's not a bourbon from Kentucky, so it's not worth drinking. This is actually, just go out there and try one. It's really, really good bourbon in my estimation. I would give this pairing, I would give it a 89 out of 100. I don't know that I would, top it over 90, but still, really, really good. Really, really, very, very, whatever you want to say. I hope you'd enjoy this pairing as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. Please hit like, subscribe, share, especially S-H-A-R-E. Share it. That's how I keep building. I'm really enjoying doing it. I'm into my 5th season now. You can find me on all the social medias. I've been predominantly on X, but I'm on Facebook and Instagram and Instagram threads. I'm not on TikTok. Don't do any of that. Chinese know enough about me already. Yeah, and visit the Sticks-n-Stonez store on Amazon. Get you some Sticks-n-Stonez gear. Get you a shirt with a nice, patriotic kind of theme on the back of it with the American flag on the front. Sticks-n-Stonez. Show your support. Until we get to be there together again, keep your sticks dry and your stones cold. Have a great day.